Hey guys, JC Smith here. It's Saturday. Just got back with the dump truck. It's been doing very well. I just took 2 loads slab wood to my brother. He heats his house with slab wood too, and it's doing really well, but there's some things that need some attention. We got another bad tire. I think this is one of those ones from that same batch that I got because there's a flat spot in this one. So I'm going to take that one off. I got 4 of them tires at the same time, so this might be the last one of them. So we're going to take that one off, and we're going to swap it out for another one. And my mirror needs tightened up. It does this going down the road constantly. That arm right there is supposed to snap into a little dog in there, but probably because this door was doing this, doing this in and out for so long, it probably broke it. So I'm probably just going to drill a hole straight through it and nut and bolt the thing, because as you can see, there's some rust on that maybe one of these days I'll change it out with another mirror. These are spring loaded. There's a spring in here that keeps it tight and tensioned, but you can fold them in, if it was to be towed, and that's why that's supposed to come apart. But most people, when they take them apart, they break them because they don't know how to get them apart. So, and I can tell you that because that's what I did on the first one. So, we need to take care of that. I need to change that out. And there was something else. I can't remember now. I was going to grease it and check the front brakes and all that stuff. Just give it a look over. But it's been doing really well. I can't complain. They're not great on fuel, as you can imagine. But it is what it is. Short trips, but no problem so far. She's doing okay. It's got an oil leak that I have to take care of. I'm just really waiting until I get my things done that are necessary before I decide to tackle that, which might be in the wintertime. One day when things slow down, I'm not quite so busy. Maybe I'll roll it in the shop. Okay, so this is the other thing. This is a very common thing to go bad on these Internationals. And what it is, I'll just show you. It is the temperature, the blend door and the mode door for the heater controls. Typically, if you have the white one, the old style, they usually split, like right here in this corner, and you can't change it. Now this truck is stuck on vent, which is pretty typical. You usually get stuck on vent or defrost or something like that and it won't turn. This takes all of maybe 10 or 15 minutes to change. So if you got an International from 2002 up, because that's when they changed body style, was 2002, mid-year, you know what, I'm going to show you where this is and how to change it. So hang on. Okay, so the International, we're doing a little bit of work to it. The heater will not change from vent to defrost to floor. And this is kind of a common problem with these things. There's an electric motor on the side of the mode shaft, and it's not really a hex, it's kind of a circle with 2 flats on it, and it splits. And when it does, obviously it just turns, but nothing happens. So we're going to change that out today. So the first thing we'll do is take this cover off to get to it, because we have to take this bottom cover off. So this one is just 2 spring clips up here, one over here, and it just lifts out of place. Okay. The next step is to there's 3 screws across here. There's one here, one here, one here. There's, well, that's not showing up well. 2 on that side, and 2 on this side, and 2 on the very bottom. So we'll take those out and we can get to it. Okay. So let's do that now. Oh, and those are T20s. Is what you're after. T20 Torx bit. See if I can get the sun glare out of here. Okay. First thing I got to do is take this cover off. These are just T20, kind of look like kind of a sheet metal screw here. Nothing special. Take that cover off. I think there's 4 of these little screws. Show you the other ones over here. There we go. Wow, you'd be surprised how difficult this is holding the camera. One. Apparently it's going to stick to my gun. Here. One here. That one's not even in there, I guess. Let's see if I can. I'm going to look through the camera so I can take that screw off first, maybe. See if I can get the bit in here. It's very low, it's hard to see in there. Okay, so there's the last one, which there's one missing, so I'll have to get another one. Alright, so there's two of them. This is the blend for the hot and the cold, and then up above it, you can see right here, this is the one for the mode, being, you know, defrost, floor, vent, whatever. So, I can't remember what those were. T20, is that what that is? Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, right there. I think it's a T20 Torx, so let me get it out. Okay. T20 Torx. Nice little flex head snap-on ratchet. That's what it takes to get up in there. And I can't get on it and show you a good angle. Okay, so here it is. Like I was saying, you can tell the new version to the old version based on whether it's black or white. Here's the original, which is white. There's the update. Now, here's what happens to them. As you can see, it's split right there in the thin part. And actually, it's split on both sides. So when this turns, it's just turning, but it's not doing anything, so it's not grabbing on the shaft up here. You can see what it does. It's not tight on anymore, so it can't turn the blend door. Now, I've never had to index these. Okay, you can see I'm going to put this in, and usually what I can do is I can go on the shaft and turn this until it goes on, and then slide it on the shaft and then rotate this whole assembly to line the screws up, and it always works fine. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm getting them started with this thumb wheel because it's a little bit easier. It's got an indexing pin. So I use this thumb wheel and get them snugged up by hand because they really don't need to be all that stinking tight, you know. And if you use a ratchet, it's very, very easy to over tighten them. This one has the wiring harness in the way, so you got to be careful with that. Yeah, this is too difficult with a camera, so I'll just stop here. That right there is the new one. Alright, now you can watch the cam on the back side work. Because I've changed it to defrost from vent. Yeah, you could if you could see it. Alright, you can see it work. Alright, go to vent now. There we go. Alright, that's good. So, you can see that's the only problem was it was just split here. Very common. I usually keep these around because of all the internationals I've got. There's two types of these, the ones that are broke today and the ones that are broke tomorrow. So, we keep them around. But alright, so that's back in. Now we'll put the cover back in. Put it all back together real quick. Okay, it's all back together now. Now let's see if we can change the modes on it. Let's see here, turn the fan up. And where is it? Feels like it must be on the floor. Yep. See the dirt moving there? Okay. Let's go to the vent. This is right here. Nice little string. Check that out. Now we'll go back to the vent. There we go. Anyways, okay, so it's fixed. That's that. Now we'll get on to that tire we got to change out. You know, one nice thing about International is if you want to go between the vent half and half, you can just go to that spot right there and it'll give you both. You know, some of them you only have the settings that they show you, but this one will give you half settings because it is an electric motor, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's get on to the tire. I'm having deja vu of tires. Not long ago we were doing this on the other truck, on the Freightliner. This thing, you know, I got a really good steer tire the other day. We might change rims and tire and all. So this is another one of those tires that I got at the same time that has a flat spot in it. I think there was 4 of those we got at one time, and you can't see it in this one nearly as bad as the other one, but there is a flat spot. So I'm going to take it off. Now, in efforts to keep this El Cheapo dump truck as cheap as possible, because remember, this is a temporary dump truck. I'll show you what I'm putting on it, because I just got it the other day, so hang on. Okay, so I bought this truck the other day, and it came with really nice Bridgestone steer tire right here. I have 2 more Goodyear tires, that identical tread pattern, same size, that I can take and put on this, because the 2 outsides are steers. Okay, so I'm going to take this steer off, which is a really nice shaped Bridgestone, and I'll put it on the dump truck. Try and save a few pennies there. So I've got it just about off. Now I just need to jack it up. I do as much work ahead of time before I jack it up, because I just don't like it up in the air any longer. It has to be. So I'm going to take this off real quick, jack it up, and we'll stick another one of these back on it. So let me do it. Okay, so here it is. Rim's in pretty good shape. Now this is something we rarely see. Somebody balanced the 22.5. Hopefully that works out in our favor and works on the dump truck. But I'm going to give it an aerosol overhaul real quick, so that it looks as nice as, well, I use that term loosely, as nice as the back ones. Maybe, let's say it this way, it's the same color white as the back ones. How about that? Okay, let's get it painted. 1 aerosol overhaul complete. That'll be alright. It'll do just fine. We're gonna paint this bumper. It's not in great shape. It's been brush painted before, you know. I just want it to look a little better for winter, because I have another bumper to put on, but I really don't want to put it on this winter, just in case I do something like this. Can you see that? That's a pretty good dent right there. Boy, it's so hard to find. So hard to see, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. There's a big dent right there. So anyways, it's been brush painted. It's kind of rusty. I'm going to prime it and paint it and see if it holds up for the winter. If it does, that'll be fine. Then in the spring we'll either put the chrome bumper on or the other painted one or the other. So let's get the priming. Okay, the aerosol overhaul is done on the wheel, so it turned out pretty good. I think it'll be alright. And I got 2 coats of self-etching primer on the bumper. So we're going to go grab a bite to eat, let that dry, and then I'll come back and paint it. And I'm going to paint it with, I forget what color that's called. It is charcoal gray. That's what I have the most of, and it's darker than the other gray I have, which is battleship gray or something. No, smoke gray. So I like the darker gray better. It's closer to the factory color. So go grab something to eat and come back and get back to painting. Shouldn't be very much longer on this truck, and we can move on, because we got to do work to her van, the newer van, the older van, and the Mercury. They all need oil changes, and your van needs front brakes and pads. So we got to do that too. So let's go grab a bite to eat and get back to work. All painted up and back on the truck. It goes down the road much smoother now. And I got some color on the bumper. It's not great, but it looks better. You know, sometimes it's the little things that make us happy, and that's definitely a little thing, but at least that bumper's all one color. They make it like a, I want to say it's a gunmetal gray is what the color of that bumper's supposed to be. I know it's hard for you guys to see because it's in the shade, but maybe I'll take that bumper off and sandblast it and maybe beat out that dent, see if I can make it any better in the spring. But yeah, it'd be alright. So we're done with the dump truck again for a while. So now we're going to move on to some other stuff. I got maintenance crap to do. Both the minivans need oil changes. The Mercury needs an oil change. And my wife's newer van needs front brakes and pads. So that's going to be it on the dump truck for this one. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you on that one. If you like what we're doing, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. That means the world to us when we're doing this. Leave your comments down below if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. And we're going to start working on the shop hopefully next week. So let's go get this maintenance stuff out of the way. Alright guys, catch you on the next one.